everybody. It is John the Comic Guy, and today is Black Friday, and we're having our Black Friday sale. So I thought I would just record this for posterity and share with you what it looks like over here. So unfortunately, James contacted me earlier this morning from Comic Catacombs, and he might have food poisoning or something. He's feeling under the weather, so he's not going to be able to join Matt from Patriot Comics and John from John's Comics and I. But let me turn the camera around and show you my setup so far, and then when John and Matt get here, I'll share their setups, and I'll let you have a little bit of the inside scoop on how we're getting ready for Black Friday and our sale. Well, I'm selling more things than just comic books, so I have like a bunch of my dollar comics. I have some CDs, some VHS tapes, some DVDs, records, cassette tapes, and then of course, yes, comic books. All these are going for $1 today. Some of these now, when they're marked off, it's 3 for $10, and then I have some more 3 for $10 books here, and then $10 and higher books. So really selling a tremendous amount. But I think the big draw, of course, is besides this wall, a nice sampling of our wall books. And again, these are just mine. Matt and John haven't gotten here yet. Notice like a row of keys. What you will notice now, the other day before, there was one of my very, very good friends and customers couldn't make the Black Friday sale, but he came by and picked up Amazing Spider-Man 129 graded 6.5. He picked up a copy of what was it? Marvel Team Up #1, and he picked up what was the third book? He picked up a nice third book. Oh yeah, the Avengers with the first Taskmaster. So he spent some time here and picked those books up, but we have a lot of keys left over. So anyway, I'll continue this video shortly when either Matt or John gets here, and we'll show you their setup. John's Comics just got here. So John from John's Comics, hey brother, just got here.
Hi everybody.
And
Come on in.
this is Michael. He is a long-time customer. He's an early bird, but you know what? We're not opposed to early birds. And of course, Matt from Patriot Comics is setting up right now. It's cold, but he's happy and he's selling.
Not too bad at all.
James, we miss you today. Hope you feel better. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to GARAGE-CON #4. Thank you.
You say the branch off of my apple tree.
Exactly.
Every time I cut the lawn, I got a duck.
So it's about 9 o'clock, and we've already had a couple of early birds, and you know, we're not opposed to early birders here. So yeah, we got people already shopping. It's looking great. We got records, comics. Have Ryan. Of course, you all know Ryan Soupy. So yeah, bright and early, everybody. Looking like a great Black Friday. Great group of people. Still cranking Black Friday. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, I think. And again, we have a lot of shoppers. So far, we haven't had 1 minute without clients, so it's been a great day. Been a great day. Winding down with our Black Friday sale. John, Matt, and I did pretty darn well. I actually started unassembling my wall. I should have left it up. Sorry, guys, but I wish I saw all you guys here. If you guys did show up, thank you for your business, and we will see you next year. Everybody,
Thank you.
have a great holiday.
Have a great holiday.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, so let's go through a summary of the Black Friday sale. So yesterday was Black Friday, and we really had, as always, really, this is the 4th year running, and we had a great turnout. I want to really give a very special thumbs up and a thank you to John from John's Comics, as well as Matt from Patriot Comics, because the three of us were working it. They were really from about 8:30. Again, the sale started at 9, but a couple of people came early, and we're not going to turn away early birds. So they were welcome to come in. They started buying immediately, and really until around 1 o'clock, maybe 1:15ish, there was a crowd of people. So we really, as you saw in the videos, we really did have always a constant flow of people until the last half hour to 45 minutes, and then they just trickled in. But it was a great day. It's always a great day. If you did not get a chance to join us, I would say hopefully maybe you could put in your calendar next year if you're local, right? Again, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut area, it's at least driving distance. It's just a great turnout. If you didn't make it, hopefully we'll see you next year. If you did, thank you all so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. I think John and Matt will attest. You guys are a great bunch of guys, and it was so good to see you. We are just so sorry that James from Comic Catacombs was unable to make it. You know, he had a stomach issue, so what are you going to do? Everybody, just a friendly warning. Make sure you heat your turkey up to 165 degrees, right? Just kidding. I don't know if that was the case. Before I share with you some of the things that I traded for and I picked up myself, let me just give us a shout out to Comic Book Shifu. Comic Book Shifu, what a great guy. He sent me a message saying, hey, thank you for sharing your trades. I love the community that you and your friends have created in your neck of the United States. Comic Shifu, thank you so much for the comment. It is so true. We are so fortunate, as John O'Matt will attest. You know, not only were people buying books and shopping, we were hugging, we were talking. This community is great. So we were just so delighted that people were enthusiastically talking to us, shopping, and spending time with us. So it was great. Another shout out I want to give is to Shane Lars. So on the video that I picked up the collection from Atlantic City, the blind collection I picked up, you know, some of those books I was familiar with, some I wasn't. And then I get a message from Shane Lars saying, hey, check out Logan's Run number 6. Now, at that point, I already sold it. But I'm so impressed. I'm thinking, okay, this guy is really feeding me information. Then in the same day, I think, he sends me another text saying, hey, that Avengers with all the ants on everybody, that Ant-Man issue, that is a kind of a minor key or a popular issue. It's like, who is this guy? Then suddenly, the next day, he says, hey, that Little Monsters book may be a key or of interest. So it ends out I did still have that. The other 2 books already were sold. So, but the common glue for all of these was Shane Lars. Shane Lars, thank you so much for being knowledgeable. Apparently, he's retired. He lives in Asia now. But I got to tell you, that's where I'm so delighted that we have a worldwide network of friends here because, you know, as Shane Lars is sending me messages, great, handy information, kind of keeping his eyes out for me. I do appreciate you. So Shane Lars, thank you so much. By the way, I think it's also relevant to note. So the 2 of the 3 books that he said were of interest were already sold, as I mentioned. What do you think I think about that? The answer is I'm delighted. If you guys are flipping through our inventory and you find a diamond in the rough, whether if you're looking at my 3 for $10 boxes and it's worth $20, there are times that somebody will pull out a book and say, hey, John, was this a mistake? And would you like to price it individually? I would say 100% of the time when they say that to me, there might have been an exception, but they typically ask me, and it's like, you found it, you own it. No problem at all. I want you guys, and I think all the dealers that I connect with in the unified collectors group, we want you guys to find these diamond in the roughs. That's a part of the fun of digging, and I'm all good with that. So whoever ended out with those books, more power to you. I'm glad. I'm glad you got them. So now let's go to some of the books that I ended up getting at our Black Friday sale. Correction. A couple of these books I traded. Another shout out to Josh Travis, who might be the guy who got some of those books. He ended up coming over to do some trading with me, and I decided to start collecting another title. the Twilight Zone. So these are some of the books that he traded me. These are the Whitman versions of the Gold Key title, Twilight Zone. I like it. I kind of like these covers. Again, a lot of those Gold Key has the painted covers, right? As is this book. So because I ended up getting those Twilight Zone books from him, from that Atlantic City blind buy I got, I'm sure you saw it on the video, I initially passed this book up and threw it in inventory because I kept these other two books from Josh. And by the way, Josh has his own YouTube channel, right? I think I mentioned it, Dollar Diggin' Daddy Comics. So check it out. But so I got these from him. I said, why not? So I pulled this out of my inventory and I decided to keep it from the Atlantic City collection as well. Twilight Zone. Do you guys like Twilight Zone? That may be one of the titles that are closest for me to ultimately selling. I might end up selling the Star Trek comics. I got the Gold Keys. I might end up selling the Lost in Space titles. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to enjoy them. I'm going to keep them, and I like the covers. Another book that was in the trades that Josh Travis, or I should refer to him as Dollar Diggin' Daddy Comics, was this book. I'm going to do an episode of Wizard books I like because I think they're underappreciated, but this is one that's a special Wizard edition of Kiss. I've had this. I probably had 5 copies of it. They're all gone. But I decided, you know what? Let me keep it for now, right? It's just, I go into these cycles. There are titles that I'm very consistently collecting, and there's some titles that they pique my interest every so often. And Kiss, that's going to be one of the books that I'm keeping for now, as is the Twilight Zone. So that was between the Dollar Diggin' Daddy comics that I traded for, and the one Twilight Zone that I ended up getting from that blind buy from Atlantic City. So now, the next is on Black Friday, right? I think everybody who's a dealer out there know, before the show starts, all these dealers are rifling through each other's boxes, right? And we're no exception, right? Even though it's out of my garage, we're rifling through each other's stuff, including some of the early birds. So it's all good. But I saw John had this cheap. I picked it up. This is a low grade. And by the way, I'm going to preface, no, not surprising, right? We're all dealers, but we're all collectors, and we cherry pick. And so all the books that I ended up getting are basically low grade. But again, I don't care. I have this book already. I have this book graded in, I think, 9.2 or 9.4. But I saw it. This is now my reader copy. And one day, I don't know if Spectacular Spider-Man, and right, it's Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, but I think it goes by Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know if this is one of the books that I will keep for long, this #1, ungraded, but I remember picking this book up on the newsstand. So there is a slight emotional tie I have to it. So I saw it, I kept it, I got it cheap, I pressed it. Again, it's probably in like a 3.0, maybe a 3.5 if I'm lucky, but I'm going to keep it. And then, you know, this is one of the books, if somebody says, hey, John, I'm looking for it, I'll let it go to them. Peter Parker, the title is The Spectacular Spider-Man #1. A book from my childhood that I'm glad to have a reader copy of it now as opposed to only having a graded book. This next book, now the rest of these I ended up getting from Patriot Comics. So Matt is a funny guy. His stuff is great, and he is always tapping into the stuff I like. He had this book. Again, this is, a low grade. I would say this is 2.5, right? Maybe a 2.0. And you can see a little nick there. But I've had copies of this. I'm not so sure why I ended up selling them, but I didn't have a copy of this. So Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #6, Steranko cover. I always liked it. And if I can upgrade it one day, I certainly will. But for now, I'll stick with the 2.0, 2.5 from Nick Fury. Great Steranko cover. I got this very inexpensively as a part of a trade with Matt. So I thought this was just a good pickup for me. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #6. The next book I got from Matt is issue #2 of the Silver Age Ghost Rider. I like it. If you ever saw Matt's channel, he was asking, or his Instagram, he asked who would win, the Silver Age or the modern, or the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. I think Johnny Blaze would have him all day long, but I like the Silver Age version. So I have copies of both, but #2 is new to my collection, and I am happy to get it. Again, low grade, but I don't care. It's a book I didn't have, and I didn't pay a penny for it. It's all part of a trade, so I was very, very happy for that. The next book is something that I've always been keeping my eyes open. I had the reprint of it, right? The reprint, but I never had this, and I know Matt had several copies of it. Again, this is a low-grade book. I say this is a 3.0, but I pressed it, and it doesn't present too poorly. I like it because this has Hellcat. It's funny, as we're all talking, Matt goes, I kind of have a kind of a crush on Patsy Walker. I get it. Patsy Walker's a great. I love the fact that Marvel kind of repurposed one of the romance characters, Patsy Walker, and turned her, didn't just let her just disappear, didn't kill her off or anything, but turned her into Hellcat. I think that was wonderful. So I like this. This is the first Hellcat on the Avengers, and or Patsy Walker becomes Hellcat, shows up as a part of the Avengers. Ultimately, she becomes a part of the Defenders. I think you guys know that, but have her. What was it? The Champions. I'm just talking too spontaneously here, but this is her as a part of the Defenders. Oh, senior moment. Avengers number 144, low grade 3.0, but I'm happy to own it. Hellcat issue. Last but not least is a book that is not only an upgrade for me, but it's a graded upgrade. So I had like a 3.0 of this book. It's issue number 53 of the Silver Age Blue Beetle, a Charlton title. 6.5 from CBCS. I was happy to get this, and again, I got this all through trades with Matt. So he ended out with a stack of books from me. I ended up getting a stack of books from him. The only thing that Matt had that I didn't end up picking up, but one day I might, he had a robot in box. Kind of got me salivating, but if I had to pick, I'm going to lean towards the comics rather than a robot. But hopefully one day I'm going to snag that robot from Matt, my good friend. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me on this. This is kind of the recap of our Black Friday. For me, the book that I acquired of the day for Black Friday was this Blue Beetle Charlton Silver Age book, number 53. I'm so happy to have a graded copy of this. The lower grade raw copy is now in inventory. And if you like this content, everybody, I would encourage you to please hit the subscribe button. If you want to hit the chime and get advised every time I post a video, which is usually on Fridays. But I want to thank you so much. If you came to our Black Friday sale, thank you for joining us. If not, I hope to see you next year. And I want to thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays, folks, and I will talk to you soon.